The sun was high, and the car dealership lot shimmered under the heat. Cars lined up in neat rows, polished to perfection, waiting for buyers. Salesmen in crisp shirts moved around, chatting with customers, shaking hands, and flashing confident smiles. Among them was one salesman, let's call him the smooth talker, known for his charm and his ability to sell anything to anyone. That day, a man walked onto the lot. He looked like any other customer, casual clothes, a relaxed stance, nothing flashy. He browsed quietly, stopping near a sleek sedan. The smooth talker spotted him immediately and swooped in, his grin wide, his tone friendly. "Beautiful car, isn't she?" the salesman said, patting the hood. "Just came in last week. Low mileage, great condition, perfect for someone like you." The man nodded, running a hand over the door. "How's the engine? Any issues?" The smooth talker chuckled, waving a hand. "None at all. This baby runs smooth. Previous owner took great care of it. Honestly, you won't find a better deal." The man listened, his expression unreadable. He asked a few more questions, about the price, the warranty, the history. The salesman answered each one smoothly, his words practiced, his tone convincing. But something felt off. Then, the man did something unexpected. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device, a voice recorder. He pressed play. The salesman's own voice filled the air. "Yeah, this one's got transmission problems. We'll have to dump it quick before anyone notices." The smooth talker's face went pale. His mouth opened, but no words came out. The man smiled, just a little. "Funny," he said. "Because yesterday, I heard you tell your coworker this car was a lemon. But today, it's perfect?" The salesman stammered, his confidence crumbling. Customers nearby had stopped to watch. The air was tense. Then, the man reached into his other pocket and pulled out a business card. He handed it over. The salesman took it, his hands shaking. His eyes scanned the words, and then widened in horror. The card read, "Owner, dealership name." The man wasn't just a customer. He was the boss. The smooth talker's mouth went dry as he stared at the business card. His mind raced, how had he not recognized the owner? He'd seen photos, heard stories, but never expected him to walk in dressed like an ordinary customer. Around them, the dealership had gone quiet. Other salesmen paused mid-conversation. Customers whispered. The air was thick with tension. The owner kept his voice calm but firm. "You told me this car was in perfect condition. But yesterday, you called it a lemon. Which one is it?" The salesman swallowed hard. I must have been mistaken earlier. This car is." "Don't," the owner cut him off. "We both know what you were doing." A woman nearby, who had been looking at the same sedan, crossed her arms. "So, you were trying to scam people?" The owner turned to her. "That's exactly what he was doing. And I won't allow it in my business." The salesman's shoulders slumped. His usual charm had vanished, now he just looked like a man who'd been caught. The owner turned to the small crowd that had gathered. "I've been hearing complaints about shady sales tactics here. So, I decided to see for myself." He held up the recorder. "And I got the proof I needed." One of the other salesmen, a younger guy who had always stayed quiet, stepped forward. "He's not the only one who does this," he admitted. "It's how some of us were trained, push the bad cars first, hide the problems." The owner's jaw tightened. He hadn't expected that. Just then, the general manager rushed over, his face red. "Sir, I can explain." The owner held up a hand. "No. I've heard enough." The owner didn't raise his voice, but his words carried weight. "Everyone, sales, service, managers, meet me in the showroom. Now." The staff exchanged nervous glances as they shuffled inside. The smooth talker kept his head down, avoiding eye contact. The younger salesman who had spoken up walked with his shoulders straight, like a weight had been lifted. Once everyone was gathered, the owner stood in front of them, arms crossed. "I built this place on honesty," he said. But somewhere along the way, that got lost. A few employees shifted uncomfortably. The general manager opened his mouth to speak, but the owner silenced him with a look. "I recorded more than one conversation today," the owner continued. He pulled out his phone and played another clip, a different salesman lying to an elderly couple about a truck's engine problems. The room stayed dead silent. The owner took a deep breath. "Starting now, things change. No more hiding defects. No more pressuring customers. If a car has issues, we fix them, or we sell it as is, with full honesty." Murmurs spread through the room. Some employees nodded in agreement. Others looked nervous, even angry. The general manager finally spoke up. "But if we do that, we'll lose sales. People want cheap deals, not a list of problems." The owner's eyes hardened. "Then let them go somewhere else. I'd rather lose a sale than my reputation." The younger salesman suddenly spoke. "I'll do it right. No more lies." A few others murmured in agreement. But one of the older salesmen scoffed. "Good luck making money that way." The owner locked eyes with him. "Then you're free to leave." The room went still. The older salesman didn't move at first, as if waiting for the owner to back down. When it became clear he wouldn't, the man ripped off his name tag and tossed it onto a nearby desk. "Fine. I didn't build this place just to watch it go under," he snapped before storming out. Two others followed, seasoned salesmen who'd been there for years. The door slammed behind them. A heavy silence filled the room. The remaining employees stood frozen, unsure what to do next. The owner scanned their faces before speaking again, his voice quieter now. "I know change is hard. But this isn't just about making sales, it's about keeping customers. About them trusting us enough to come back." The younger salesman nodded. "My uncle bought a truck here last year. Died on him in 2 months. He'll never step foot here again." The owner winced. Stories like that were exactly what he was trying to stop. Just then, the woman who'd witnessed everything outside walked into the showroom. "So," she said, crossing her arms, "does this mean I can actually trust what you people tell me now?" Every employee turned to look at the owner. This was the moment of truth. He walked over to her. "That sedan you were looking at? It does have transmission issues. We'll either fix them properly before selling it, or sell it as is at a fair price with full disclosure." The woman raised her eyebrows. "Well, that's new." A faint smile crossed the owner's face. "It shouldn't be." The general manager groaned and rubbed his temples. "This is going to kill our numbers." But the woman surprised everyone by reaching into her purse. "Actually," she said, pulling out her checkbook, "it makes me want to buy from you." The sales team watched in stunned silence as the woman filled out her check for a different car, a reliable SUV with a clean history report. Her hands moved with confidence, like she'd been waiting years to meet a dealership that didn't treat her like a fool. The owner took the check personally, then stunned everyone again by knocking $500 off the price. "For your patience," he said with a nod. The woman laughed, a real, surprised sound, and shook his hand like they'd just made a pact. As she drove off in her new SUV, the remaining sales team clustered together in uneasy silence. The younger salesman, let's call him the kid, kept staring at the spot where her taillights had disappeared. "She bought because we told the truth," he muttered, more to himself than anyone. The general manager scoffed, lighting a cigarette near the no smoking sign. "One customer doesn't prove anything. Wait till word gets out we're the honest dealership." The bargain hunters will swarm us like vultures on a carcass. The owner ignored him, turning to the kid instead. You handled that well. Want to try something new? He pulled keys from his pocket, not car keys, but a set of office keys. I'm promoting you to sales trainer. Teach the others how to sell without lies. The general manager's cigarette nearly fell from his lips. You can't just. I can, the owner cut in. And I am. But just as the kid took the keys with trembling hands, a commotion erupted near the service bay. A red-faced man in oil-stained coveralls came storming toward them, waving a repair invoice like a battle flag. You lying crooks, he bellowed. Told me my warranty covered this repair, then stuck me with a $1,200 bill. Every head turned toward the owner. The real test had arrived. The angry customer shoved the invoice into the owner's chest, his voice shaking with rage. My wife's been in the hospital. I needed this truck running, and you thieves took advantage. The general manager started backing away, but the owner stood firm. He examined the paperwork carefully before speaking. You're right. This should have been covered. He turned to the service manager, who'd just come running over. Why wasn't it? The service manager's eyes darted nervously. Well, technically the warranty doesn't cover. I don't care about technicalities, the owner interrupted. He tore up the invoice right in front of the customer. Your repair is free. And your next oil change too. The customer's anger faltered. He blinked like he'd been slapped. Just like that? Just like that. The owner pulled out his wallet and handed the man $300 bills. For your trouble. And tell your wife we hope she feels better. The service manager looked like he might faint. But the warranty clearly states. The owner wheeled on him. Then the warranty needs changing too. As the stunned customer left, the kid pulled the owner aside. Sir, that was amazing, but we can't do that for everyone. We'll go broke. The owner's expression darkened. We're already broke. Just in ways that don't show up on balance sheets. He raised his voice so everyone could hear. From now on, we honor the spirit of our warranties, not just the fine print. Across the street at a diner, the three fired salesmen watched through the window. The oldest one crushed his coffee cup in his hand. He's going to ruin everything we built, he growled. His companion smirked. Not if we ruin him first. By morning, the damage was everywhere. One-star reviews flooded the dealership's page, all posted within hours, all using the same dramatic language. Scam artists, read one. Stole my deposit, claimed another. The oldest fired salesman had even filmed a tearful fake customer testimonial that was already going viral locally. The kid scrolled through the chaos on his phone, his stomach sinking. They're good at this, he muttered. Too good. The general manager threw his hands up. See? This is what honesty gets us. We should sue those bastards for. No lawsuits, the owner said calmly. He'd been up all night drafting something at his computer. Now he handed the kid a flash drive. Take this to the TV station. Ask for the I-team reporter. What was on that drive would change everything. While the kid was gone, the owner did something even crazier. He invited every complaining customer from the fake reviews to come down for free oil changes and inspections. Half showed up, looking guilty when handed complimentary coffee mugs with the dealership's logo. At noon, the local news broke the story: dealer fights back against smear campaign. The footage showed everything: the owner's secret recordings of salesmen admitting to scams, the fired employees bragging at the diner about their fake reviews, even hidden camera footage of the oldest salesman coaching people to lie in their testimonials. But the real bombshell came when the reporter revealed the owner's masterstroke: he'd bought the diner across the street that very morning. The same diner where his enemies had plotted against him. As the news spread, people started showing up at the dealership, real customers this time, applauding as they walked in. The fired salesman sat stunned in the diner, now the owner's property, watching their own faces confess to fraud on the evening news. The oldest one's hands shook as he realized, their careers in this town were over. Meanwhile, back at the dealership, something remarkable was happening. Cars were selling, not through slick tricks, but through honest conversations. The kid had discovered something incredible in the back office. Records showing their repair shop had been overcharging customers for years. When he showed the owner, they immediately slashed labor rates by 30% and posted the new prices publicly. The general manager finally cracked. "This is madness. We can't just." "We already did," the owner said, handing him his final paycheck. "Your services won't be needed anymore." As the sun set, the owner gathered his remaining team. "Today proved something important," he said. "People are tired of being lied to." He turned to the kid. "Which is why I'm making you the new general manager." The kid's mouth fell open. "Me? But I've only been here long enough to know right from wrong," the owner finished. Just then, a familiar voice called out. It was the first woman who'd bought a car after the change. She held up homemade cookies. "Figured you all could use some sugar after today." Laughter filled the showroom, the sound of a fresh start. But the owner had one last surprise. He walked to the front window and flipped the sign from "open" to "closed" for Staff Appreciation Day. "Tomorrow," he announced, "we're all going fishing. The cars can wait." And for the first time in years, the dealership didn't feel like a battleground, it felt like home.